So we're going to go through a couple of these key items for what I pack for a one-day close event versus a 3-hour drive away. Again, I drive my car to all the events. I have had the unfortunate need to rent a U-Haul and trailer my car home when I had a pretty bad accident. But otherwise, this video is going to talk about what you don't need to bring to the track if it's your first time, what you don't need to bring for a one-day event. And I see some people bringing, you know, a floor jack. That's pretty serious if you're driving your car to the event versus just relying on your scissor jack. So check out the rest of this video and let me know what you think in the comments. Smash that like button. All right, that's really the key takeaway to all of this, is that the experienced track driver packs different amounts of stuff, spares or extra layers or full-size wheels, depending on the situation. So for example, in Texas, you know, I have tracks that are 3 hours away, like down in Austin, Coda, or Houston, versus my home track is an hour and a half away at Crescent. And actually my track mechanic is even closer. They're in Fort Worth. And so that's like a 20 mile drive. I can just tow it and leave it there. And what that means is if I'm going for a one-day event at my home track, I'm not going to pack everything. If something breaks or something happens, I'm just going to pack it up and head on home and call it a day. Versus if I go out of town for a 2-day event, I'm going to bring a lot more spares. That maybe means spare rotors, you know, spare pads, you know, other tools that I might potentially try to fix the car by myself overnight, given where I am and how much money I've spent, like on a Coda event, right, in Austin. I want to get my money's worth, so I'm going to try to patch up the car and go out for the second day. So again, we're just going to walk through a couple of these different key items. Alright, this is a pretty good shot of what my trunk looks like when I'm headed to a track day and I'm bringing my full-size spare. This is an RPF 1, but I'm just going to go through the items kind of one by one as I take them out, and then we'll get a layout shot and you can see exactly what everything I bring on a veteran pack for a track day. Alright, so we'll kind of just go in reverse. Really important, I bring this to all events, is just a folding chair. I always bring a waterproof jacket, and so you never really know when it's going to rain or even just be windy. And this is really good. It's from my Cornell days, FSAE for anyone who does that. This is not washable, this is waterproof. But again, so in addition to a waterproof jacket, you always want to bring a warmer jacket. And you know, even in Texas, I think in the summer, if you're overnight, and again, one of the big things that I want to stress in this video is that experienced track drivers pack for the type of track day. And that's really two things. You know, we have one-day events here in Texas. We also have 2-day events. And it really just depends on how far away from home you're going, how far from support. So again, the spare tire, it always comes with me when I'm about more than 3 hours away from home. So that typically means like Coda, Austin, or Houston, and anything around there. But if I'm bringing that full-size spare if I'm going far away from home. However, if I'm just headed out to Crescent, which is my very close home track, it's an hour and a half away. I actually have my main mechanic is in Fort Worth. It's even closer, so I could just tow the car within 25 miles, 30 miles and have the car there. I don't necessarily bring the spare tire because it's a pain, it's a nuisance. So that's really the key to this whole video, is experienced people pack what they need, and they don't bring the whole race shop and all the spares if you're just going to your home track for a one-day event. Because if something breaks, you just pack it up and come home.
Do we need this?
Here's my Sparko bag. Some other things, I always bring a book to the track. I'm not sure how many other people do that. I have Dash and Glass. This is really good for glass cleaner as well as dashboard. A little bit of snacks. You never know when you're going to get hungry out there. Towels. Always have a couple of extra towels, microfiber. These are my driving shoes, Sparko Skid. Really love them, and I wear them all day.
You've been listening to this forever?
These are just my magnetic numbers. I keep them inside this box. Sometimes I have to tape the leading edge just in the morning when it's really cold, so you'll see some of that excess tape. Paper towels. Again, always need paper towels. Impact driver. Really useful with that jacketed socket for taking the wheels off. Just another towel. I have different levels. This is something I always pack a lot. This is just a little travel kit, but I am kind of a stickler, so I will brush my teeth. I have floss in here. Just some personal toiletry kits. Again, if it's overnight, then you're probably going to need this in the morning, so I just end up putting this in my kit all the time. Here's that full-size spare. I actually had damage from hitting a curbing pretty hard and it broke the lip off. So I had it refinished. The guy was willing to repair it, but you can tell how old it is. It's still got a RS3 tire on it. But again, I mostly plan to just drive this back from the track if I'm in Austin or Houston and I need to get the 3 hours back home. In that same vein, you know, all my cars just have these little emergency blankets. So again, even if you need a makeshift tent. So in my S2000, actually, it has this kind of notch. This is where the donut spare tire goes, and you're supposed to put your full-size wheel, put your full-size tire down here, and then you move this tool. So I always bring the factory tool toolbox. I have a compressor, depending where we are. This is just another towel. Again, if you're camping at the track and you need to take a shower, these towels are really great. Painter's tape, very standard. I usually bring 1 quart of oil and 1 small bottle of brake fluid, just as always. This is a great pressure gauge. Shout out to Vic, who gave me this a long time ago. Doesn't have a fancy release, but it's really, I like the rubber casing. It can take a lot of damage and fall. Water, I always bring about 3 or 4 cases of water. Here's a shot from the driver's side. I typically keep my helmet up here, my Hans, just because I don't want to scratch it up. I'll put...
Why? Why are you doing that?
Some other small tools. You know, I happen to have a toolbox here. I usually like to keep that in the back, just for the noise. Inside this toolbox is really just basic hand tools. Looks like I've got an extra toothpaste. I told you guys I really like to brush my teeth. Zip ties, emergency. Torx bits. I really love this flexible wire here. Super useful. I mean, primarily if you want to just hold something heavy like your brake calipers, but really useful if you're doing any kind of work on the car. Electrical tape for electrical, small pry bar. Otherwise, it's really mostly a 10mm wrench, 12, 14, a little bit of metric sockets, and you can work on anything on a Honda with that. But again, when I go to the track day, I still have a lot of room on this side. I don't fill it all in. Some people use a plastic bin and put it on the seat. Again, it really just depends on how flexible you are. Sometimes I have a passenger going with me. I'll keep water. So I've got, you know, water in this center cup holder. I got some snacks, just for the drive down. And you know, I'm still able to put the top down. I even have it filled up. You can put the top down. It may not be all the way down due to how high some of that toolbox stuff is, but it's still really comfortable. If you want to put the top down, if you're in the city, you can fit everything. And again, my car is not that filled. I think that there's still plenty of room for additional things, because the real idea is that you don't need to bring a lot of stuff. This is my pack for a one-day close event in my hometown. If I'm going a bit further away, we can see in here, you know, I may bring more items, brake cleaner, oil, you know, definitely duct tape, pad spreader if I'm bringing spare pads, all sorts of different things. Windex, I guess, a dedicated Windex bottle. Always remember to have on your checklist to put in your tow hooks. I have a front and a rear here. All right, well, that wraps up this what not to bring to the track, or what veterans bring or don't bring to the track. And again, I just reiterate, the key is what is important for your environment, what does your car need, and how long or how far away are you going to be away from home or a mechanic. I tried to put everything in here. You know, I had already kind of packed and repacked the car a couple times. So if there's anything that I didn't picture, drop me a comment and I'll let you know if I bring it or not. But I hope you guys found this useful, and you'll have a lot more confidence when you're heading out to the track next time. Thanks, smash that like button and subscribe for more track and automotive content. Well, I hope that was useful. And we'll see you next time.